या देवी सर्वभूतेषु ज्ञान रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। Source energy present in all humankind, goddesses and God in form of wisdom. I pray to that energy before starting the discussions on source as nothing. When we start discussing about the source or God, we sometimes get a shape, a conceptualization in our mind. But we always say Brahm is zero. And that zero, what is zero? Zero is nothing. Neither one nor minus one. So, and that is why we say source is nothing, because source is something from where everything has originated, and we say source is nothing. We have to now understand what nothing is to understand what source will be. Nothingness, if you close eyes, you can experience it. Close your eyes and take yourself to the state of thoughtlessness. What you experience is nothingness. And this nothing has no qualities. In the scriptures, it is called nirguna. And when you get something with some qualities, that is called saguna. So nirguna is something which has no qualities. Nirguna is something which value is zero, and nirguna is something which is present in everything. Nothing is present in you or not. It is present. It is present in the stone or not. It is present. In the tree, it is present. In the plant, it is present. In your home, it is present. Nothing is always present in something. There is absolutely nothing where nothing is not present. And that is how we define source. Source is something which is present in all of us, and it is having no qualities, and therefore it is nirguna. Then the question arises, which I'm being asked several times, that we assume that God is very powerful, the source is very powerful, and if it is nothing, how can it be powerful? This is a very important question which always comes in the human mind, because we at gross level think that anything which is big is more powerful than anything which is small. But is this thinking right? Is this thinking correct? Today, even science has proved that it is not. I would like to give you certain examples. If you take a big thing, let us think about the power of destruction. World came to know first about chemical reactions, where something was either uniting, oxidation, or something was separating, reduction. And in chemical reaction, transfer of energy used to take place. To expedite the reaction, either you were providing the heat, or when reaction was taking place, heat was coming out. But the amount of energy involved in the chemical reactions was very little. Okay? And the reactions were huge. If you wanted to produce 2 joules of energy, you will have to do a lot of reactions to get that energy. And then what is smaller than that was called atomic reactions. And you have seen, the world has seen, that power of atomic reactions was much more than chemical reactions. And now, today, we even have gone to more subtle things, and we have nuclear reactions. Now, whose power is more, atomic reactions or nuclear reactions? Obviously, nuclear reactions. And these days, even another thing is being discussed about the nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is subtle and is more powerful than the major technologies available with us. What I want to draw your kind attention to is that our thinking that big is having more energy is not correct. And now coming to the human form, human is made of 5 different things. What are those things? Earth, water, air, fire, and space. Chit jal pavak gagan samira. Panch tattva mili bana sarira. Human body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Now, what is more important to you? Everything is important. But what is more important to you is my question. And you will always say that yes, food is more important. If you don't get food, you cannot sustain, you cannot remain alive. And when you say this, you are right. But when you see the subtle form, you are wrong. Food is important because maybe we have to spend a lot of money for it. But what is more important than food? If you want to understand how important food is, then you can understand like this, that amount of days, number of days you can live without food, only 1/10 of the day you can live without water. So suppose you can live without food for 10 days, you can live without water only for 1 day. Okay? So water is available free, so we do not understand the value of water, but water is 10 times more important for human body than food. And what is water? It is, what is big, food or water? Of course, food is big. So water is more subtle than food, but it is more important to us than food. Now, going to the next step, third element present in the human being is air. Now, what is more important to you, air or water?
Air.
All of us know that it is air. Amount of time you can spend without water, if it is 1 day, then 1/100th of the day, less than 1/100th of the day, you will be able to remain without air. What is more important than air is the energy, is the temperature, is the heat. If somehow we put the temperature of human body to 0, we do not exist. So 1,000 times fire is more important than air. And then the most important element present in you is space. Because if I make your space 0, I press you totally, the existence of human body is not possible. See, now what I want to say, food is bigger, smaller is water, more smaller is air, more smaller is energy, more smaller is space, but space is the most important element, most important substance present in the human body. And what remains, what is the next step after understanding space is consciousness, where human body is made of the 5 elements, but soul is consciousness. Consciousness has got 3 stages: unconscious state, subconscious state, and conscious state. In unconscious state, our thinking is such that all of us are different. Your nose and my nose is not matching. Your hairs are of different colors and I do not have hair at all. Your ears are different than mine. So when we are unconscious, we always understand that there is a huge difference between you and I. Then you reach to the state of semi-consciousness, that is subconsciousness. And how can you reach there? There are different methods by yoga, by tantra, by spirituality. But all these methods are same. Their names are different. The human being was always very much interested in dividing things. Dividing you and I. Dividing the cultures. Even when the cultures are same, dividing men and women. You can work less, I can work more. And therefore there is a division between you and I. Human being was always interested in dividing the society, dividing the culture, dividing your body also. Left side of the body, right side of the body. Okay, body and mind. But when, with the help of spirituality, your wisdom increases and you reach to the state of subconsciousness, you understand that though we are different, though our hairs are different, though our bodies are different, but we are part of the same source. Okay? We understand that, but still the real understanding doesn't come to us. Real understanding comes to us when we attain the consciousness. And consciousness is the state in which we understand that I and you are same. There is no difference between you and I, because you belong to the same source to whom I belong to. You are the same source what I am. And therefore, a beautiful harmony develops in the mind when the enlightening state comes in, and you cannot remain any longer enemy of anyone. For you, the whole world is same. For you, even plants and you become same. And that is the state of consciousness, in which we understand that same thing is present in me and same thing is present in you. And not only present, you and I are the same thing. From here, the real consciousness starts. And what is present in you and also present in me? Nothing. This space, zero, what I call nothing, that is present in you and also present in me. And in reality, what you are, nothing. What I am, nothing. What source is, nothing. And then when we go to the anatomy of human body, we have something called Kundalini energy. And Kundalini energy resides in the root chakra. And what is root chakra? Root chakra is associated with earth. And there Kundalini energy is present. From there, if chanting the mantras, doing the meditation, conceptualizing, following all those systems needed, when your root chakra starts rising, your Kundalini automatically starts rising. Here another question, that human has always understood and believed that whatever I can see is truth. If I see a brick, it is a truth. If I see a home, it is a truth. And then I give you an example, you will understand. A close friend of mine came to me and he started saying something. He says, energy does not exist, you know. You are saying, but I do not think that energy exists. And then I said, how do you know that energy does not exist? He says, because you cannot see it, you see. You can see everything, you can see plant because it exists. You can see home because it exists. I see you because you exist. I do not see energy, and therefore energy does not exist. And then I said, okay, hold this. And it was an electric wire. And he was holding this and playing this, and he was very interested in knowing about the electric wire and doing and playing. And then I said somebody to put the switch on. He put the switch on, and that person, the friend of mine, shouted, what are you doing? And I told him, energy is nothing, you see. Why are you so worried? It is the same wire with which you were playing. What is the difference? Difference is that wire you were playing with earlier did not carry energy. And now, where you are playing now carries energy. And he said, oh, and he believed that energy exists. So now in human body also, we believe in lungs, we believe in fingers, we believe in nails because we can see them. But all around your physical body, there is an energetic body also. We call it Pran Sharir. We call it energetic body, a pranic body, which is about 10 inches all around your body. You know what is the human height? Human height is 96 finger width. The physical height of the human being is 96 finger width from his own finger width. And energetic body is 108 finger width. And that is why we always try to chant 108 mantras. So all around about 10 inches, 12 finger width is energy body present around you. And now he says, electric I understand because electricity I have experienced. But how can you tell me about the pranic body present all around us? And I tell you, you want, you can experiment at your home. Try to take your finger to somebody's nose. Don't touch the nose. Do you think there would be reaction or there would be no reaction?
Yes.
There would be reaction, yes. And why reaction? If I am not touching you, why should you be reacted? Because you do not know that I am touching you. In fact, I have already penetrated, I have already entered your energy body. And therefore, there is a reaction inside you. Reaction is not because I have taken my finger close to your nose. Reaction is because I have already entered your energetic body without your permission. Look, and when you have permission, you can touch each other's body also, there is no problem, physical body also. When you have permission, you can go and enter anybody's energy body, there is absolutely no problem. So, everything is energy. In this universe, everything is energy, and these chakras are present in energy form. If you try to cut your body, chakras are not there. Nerve systems are there. But chakras are not physically present in the body. They are present in the subtle form. And element of earth resides in root chakra. From there, if you start rising your energy, you will reach to the second chakra called sacral chakra. And what sacral chakra represents? Water. If you move further up and take your Kundalini energy up, then you will reach to your navel. Okay. And at the navel, you have solar plexus chakra, where fire energy, where energy resides. Here also resides 10 Vayus, which are responsible to send energy, to send oxygen to all your body. And then move further, you reach to heart chakra. What resides here is air. Move further, reach to your throat chakra. What resides here is space. Everything gets completed up till throat, whatever your body contains. If you try to go up and try to pull your energy still up, then it is soul energy. And then unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and consciousness comes in, and consciousness resides in third eye chakra. And if you try to pull your energy still up, then this energy gets converted into nothing. And nothing resides in your crown chakra. There are 7 chakras. When energy reaches to your crown chakra, you don't need to do anything. All your actions stops. You don't have any actions anymore. And then how you live your life? Then the illusion, there are 3 types of illusion in Sanskrit: Maya, Yog Maya, Mahamaya. Maya ceases to exist when your consciousness rises. When you become Prabudh, when you become Buddh, your illusion dies off. And then Yog Maya starts living with you permanently. What Yog Maya does? It doesn't, what illusion is? Illusion makes you involved with everything you do. And Yog Maya doesn't make you involved in anything you do. So though you are brushing your teeth, but it's still not brushing. You are washing your body, but it's still not washing. You are wearing the clothes, but it's still not wearing, is the work of Yog Maya. So now coming back again, you have to understand that without energy, this human body is useless. And what is source of this energy is nothing. Everything gets governed by our crown chakra. And what crown chakra represents? It represents nothing. So everything has come from nothing, and everything will go in nothing. And that is how source is defined. And when religions got developed, before religions, the name religion came only after man-made religion started developing on our earth. Before than that, there was no name for religion. There was no religion. Everything we used to call Sanatana, and there was no religion mentioned that you are this or this, you are this. I told you that humans are smart and they have divided the humanity. Otherwise, the real division does not exist, and the reality remains that we are part of the same source. And even saying part is wrong. We are the same source. You as well as I and everyone else is same. And there is no difference whatsoever between us. We all carry the same energy and that energy has come to you, to me, and to all of us from the source. So we are part of the same nothingness, same source energy, and when this nothingness gets converted into somethingness, then that nothing becomes a powerful energy, it becomes electricity, it becomes air, it becomes solar energy, it becomes many forms of energy. And that is how we survive. And now you can understand that we are the same source, which is nothing, and we all are same. Thank you so much.